Welcome back to a Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes and I'm joined today by Chris McElwain and Sean Connolly. It's half-time at Celtic Park. Celtic 1, Hibs 0. Sean, what was your thoughts on the first 45?
Yeah, it was a good game in the sense. We 1-0 is less than we deserved, I reckon. We started the game absolutely on fire. The first 13 minutes, 14, 15 minutes, I thought it looked like we were just going to run all over them. The game kind of settled down. Hibs picked up a couple of bookings, and then we kind of got back into it after that. But the fact is, that's the best we've played against Hibs this season. I think we've restricted them to one chance, one controversial chance that if they'd scored it would have been pretty much unprecedented controversy. Because we've never seen VAR testing out did they take the throw in from the wrong place? That would have been an interesting one. But yeah, we've been, we started really fast paced, decisive. We had a lull in the middle and then we picked up again. And Hatate, that kind of lull in the middle, Hatate just kind of disappeared. I can't get my head around this, how he just disappears from games. Sometimes it's for 45 minutes. Today it was for like 15, 20 minutes. And we just don't seem to be doing anything when he's out of the game. I don't know if that's like a symptom or a cause, but he gets back involved in the game, and then we create a couple of chances, and one of them comes from Schlupp, puts it in. Kuhn gets a shot, keeper fumbles it, and look, I said this last time we played, and that keeper's there to be got at, and that's what happened. Maeda was alive to it. The keeper fumbles Maeda's. The keeper fumbles Kuhn's shot, and Maeda is alive to it and puts the rebound in. Might have spun in anyway, but Maeda made sure of it. And was that 27 goals this season, something like that. It was nice to hear that he's got a song now as well. I didn't actually know that song had started. Were you guys aware of that one?
Yes, we've heard a lot of people in the comments bigging that song up. Sean, I want to ask you from the referee's perspective, this is the moment when you're looking through your Shoot magazine and you come to that section where it says you are the ref and it gives you a scenario and then 4 different outcomes, right? So that throw-in, you are the ref, Sean, that throw-in, Hibs score the goal. Does VAR intervene in that scenario? Because you said it would be unprecedented. Yes, I've never seen an example of it. Is it in the rules that it would need to intervene in a scenario like that because the ref got it wrong?
Well, VAR is intended to intervene with a goal, but it's actually not clear. If there's what it says is if there's an infringement in the attacking phase of play leading up to the goal. So technically, by the letter of the law, taking a throw in from the wrong spot is an infringement. But how many goals would get chopped off down the line if we start? You'd almost have to use Law 18, which is the law of common sense, and be like, yeah, look, you've gained a clear advantage there by taking it from the wrong point. I think that was how they would have to do it, but because it's unprecedented, they would probably just be flapping and not know what to do, and it would be a whole can of worms.
You're right. They would have gone for option D, which was always book Paul Elliott. Chris McElwain. I was enjoying that. I mean, the sun is obviously extended as far as wherever you are based at this moment in time. You're looking resplendent there, like Henry from Neighbours. Remember him? Hey Mona, you've got a kind of vibe like that. He liked a bit of denim as well. And when you're talking about that decision, thankfully we're not going to have to. But I'll tell you what, Kasper Schmeichel was not happy, was he? I mean, He went on and on and on about it. And it was just that moment of the game that Celtic have been brilliant. We've done everything right. And it's just a margin like that based on poor refereeing because, like Sean says, they'd have been flapping. Had that gone in. Thankfully, we've got Big Kasper, who we were bigging up at the beginning of the game. There's a few other people I want to big up during that first half. I've got Rio Hatate's name written down, right? And I find it so interesting how he divides the opinion because what he does do, that the passing, sometimes he's cutting through a defence where an inch perfect pass, sometimes just short. There's a couple of times to Jota, you're thinking if it was pinpoint, that was another goal. And he's dividing opinion today. So Danny Boy comes in to say that he was something positive about Hatate, but his passing is atrocious. And then we've got HRIMR. I thought it was HMRC for a minute. Hey boy, this was immense. You take that off with a smooth. I'm in your boat with this one. Neil, sometimes look like a luxury player, Chris, but I think that when he does what he can do, you think, all right, aye, that's fine. He's disappeared for the last 10, 15 minutes. Because, he plays a pass there. This one here for Maeda's miss. Nobody else plays that pass.
Yeah, I kind of get both viewpoints. There were times where he was playing, the very simple passes, and he's not hitting them on target. And you think, come on, for goodness sakes, a man of your ability, playing at the level you are, you should be able to pick a player out under no pressure. And that, I think, is where a lot of the frustration comes in. But then there's the shot from range, which is unlucky not to get a goal. There's the pass over the top to Schlupp, which then leads to the goal eventually. He's got it in his locker to make these Hollywood passes. But the problem is when you're continually trying to make the Hollywood passes, they're not going to come off all the time, right? When they do, you usually you yield the benefits. You get the goal or the assist or something. But I do think he needs to polish up the fundamental part of his game, which is retaining possession. I think that is where people get frustrated with him. I'm very much in the Hatate camp. I like the way he plays. I like what he brings to the team. But I share the frustration sometimes when there's a simple pass on and he passes either behind the player or he passes it out of play. And he's not the only one. There's a few players not passing too accurately today, and we've denigrated players like Greg Taylor in the past for not being able to make the simple pass. So I get the frustration, but I still think without Hatate on the field today, we probably don't manage to get through what has been quite a resilient Hibs defence. And we've been playing excellent, but we are up against a tough team who've been playing pretty well defensively. I think that's the reason why it's only 1-0. But I think if we continue to play the way we've played in the second half, I can definitely see us getting a few more goals. I mean, actually, if it wasn't for the Hibs keeper, we'd probably be about 2 or 3 goals up.
We're creating the chances. We're cutting through Hibs. I think Schlupp has looked an absolute cut above.
Good link with him and Jota, actually. Yeah, really good.
Brilliant.
He's building up a really good understanding on that side, which is nice.
I'm not sure where he's playing. I have no idea where he's playing. He seems to be all over the park. We'll get a few more comments before we then have a Daizen Maeda appreciation 5 minutes spell, which we probably could have after every single game. Alistair Ross, welcome to the show. You're on the YouTube. If you are watching on that platform, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We need to smash through 32,200 today for no other reason than my OCD doesn't like it on an odd number. Right, the goal was coming and we should be out of sight. Same again in the second half. That's what you're looking for, Sean. We've sat here so often at half time and we've seen two sides of Celtic. You're just hoping for the same again in the second half, aren't you?
Yeah, and obviously there's going to be some changes, so hopefully that doesn't disrupt the team. We've got McCowan and Ida who can come on, and we'll barely drop in any quality when they come on, as long as they're switched on and up for the game. So yeah, we obviously 1-0 is enough in the very literal sense that 1-0 is enough, but 1-0 is not comfortable, and we want to go out early and get another goal, because even if it's 1-0 going into 75 minutes, that's when Hibs they'll get a sense that they can start chucking it forward, they can start creating chances, and any team of any quality can create a chance out of nothing, so we would be much more comfortable if we had that second goal that we deserve. And look, I think one of the best players, certainly at the start of the game, was Kuhn. He's kind of dropped off a bit, but he looked like he had them on toast at the start. And I hope he comes out and has another go at the start of the second half. I was reflecting on it a little bit, in that kind of spell in the middle where we weren't doing so well. We were going very direct, which we hadn't done at the start. We were working the wings at the start and cutting inside. And then for the goal that we get and the build up to that, the same thing. We're working the wings, working and cutting in. But we went through a spell there where the way Hibs were playing, they press up, they play compact, and they were giving us the space in behind, and we were trying to take it, and we weren't being successful with it. So I'm hoping we don't revert to that. But I don't know. I hope that Hibs will tire. And we'll get a second, and that'll make things a little bit more comfortable. And hopefully, with our quality from the bench coming on, it should see us through. I'll take any win today, to be honest. Hibs are a quality team, that we've restricted. The fact that we've restricted them to one chance is probably more bigger fact than the chances we've created, is that we've restricted them to one, and that's down to, we've created chances from the attacking players, but the back four and the midfield in front of them have been composed and decisive with their passes and physical, and that's really what's restricted Hibs to just that one chance that was very controversial in of itself.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. And I'm just glad that there wasn't a decision to be made on it. Lupe, we're talking about the outstanding song, James Devine, for Daizen Maeda. And Lupe33 says, Tequila Maeda. Remember the Terrorvision song, Tequila? You probably could turn that into a Maeda song as well, Lupe. That was probably their only hit, actually. David Canavan is saying, hail from a wet Spain. I hope you're enjoying the game. We've also got James Fenton's saying, hail from India. Everywhere we go. Yeah, unbelievable turnout today. Over 1,000 on the half-time. The tempo of the game is insatiable, says Maestro95. It has been a really good game to watch. Barry McCluskey comes in to echo one of your points, Sean, about Kuhn, a bit of a revival early in the half. Hopefully it bodes well for the rest of the season. I think it was the fact that he faded a wee bit was probably more to do with the fact that our left-hand side came into the game rather than Kuhn not doing anything well. He just wasn't getting much of the ball after, Jota actually started slow. Kuhn started like the force, and then it kind of flipped at some point during that first half. Just keep an eye on the coverage. Scott Brown is on the punditry with Neil Lennon pitch side with his magnificent five hair.
It's very distracting. It's very distracting.
It is, because it just looks like, I don't know, an evil twin. It's like that scene in the Minions movie, The Rise of Gru, when he meets his brother and he's just got this mane. That's like Bruni, right? But you were talking about Morton before the game. You were talking about Morton coming to Celtic Park. I seen there was a wee bit of handbags on the sidelines yesterday at Capello between Dougie Emery and Scott Brown. So I love a bit of that. Paul Maguire, let's talk about Daizen Maeda. 27 goals for Maeda. We need that big time. Hail, hail. I'd need to double check this. I think he's also on 9 assists. What a season this guy is having. Unbelievable. He's heading for 30.
9, yeah.
Is it 9? He's heading for 30 goals, and the vast majority of his season's been played on the wing. This is the guy. By the way, there's a couple of wee things in that first half that we're talking about. Celtic doing well, and all these guys have been linked away from the club. And I'm thinking, it's you guys that create the stories about Daizen, Carter Vickers and Johnston and all this kind of stuff leaving the football club. Maeda has been a revelation, Chris. I just wish we'd listened to Liam a wee bit sooner.
Yeah, do you know, it's... I actually said that to Maltman when we were watching the game. I said, it makes you wonder if Maeda had been the striker at the start of the season. And that's not to be disrespectful towards what Kyogo achieved, but you wonder about exactly how many goals would he be on at this point, the way he's playing. I don't think anything exemplifies the player more than the goal he scored there, because the chance comes in, Kuhn does really well, good contact on it, keeper makes a decent save. But if you watch Maeda's movement, he is moving about 10 seconds quicker than any other player. And the reactions are incredible. And he's looking for it, and he's positioned himself well. He's not standing in an offside position. He's not kind of thinking that the chances pass me by. He is absolutely on his toes and ready to go. And it just, there was that moment, which was a biggie. There's also the moment where he's in his own box and he wins the ball and he charges up.
It breaks away. That was brilliant.
I don't know how you could find a player to replace what Daizen Maeda brings to the team at the moment. I really don't. I know we joked about the values of 56, 60 odd million. To be honest, I think I'd knock you back if someone offered that for Maeda at the moment. He is too valuable. I'm going to wrap this up soon because I know you'll mute me again if I keep going here, but I'll try.
Not guilty, Your Honour.
I think genuinely, whether it's been by virtue of good management or we've just lucked into it, I really do think we've found a proper striker in Daizen Maeda. But unfortunate for Adamida, who maybe thought he was going to get that nod. But Daizen, for me, is firmly established as our number one striker at the moment.
The big thing for me, Chris, is values aside, we couldn't replace him. This is the thing. We've been talking about him being something of a unique player at Celtic, so much so that I couldn't compare him to anyone else. Some players just put you in mind of others, and there's been a few people saying that Agat reminds them of Maeda. The teams are out, so we don't want to be muting anybody. Let's just go and rejoin the action and join us at full time on A Celtic State of Mind.
Mono Hibs.
On Hibs.